What's up, everyone? AJ on Day Trader Boom or Bust with my daily watch list and recap. So today was a pretty emotional day um, of trading, and it ultimately, as I'm sure you saw from the teaser image, led to my first red day. Led to a red day, and it's my first red day in just over a week, and the only red day this week. So let's jump into the watch list as I will try through this recap to kind of articulate things and communicate. This might be a bit of a longer video than usual as I try to, share what happened today and hopefully help others. So this is my watch list. I post every day on my Twitter at 9:30, around 9:15 in the morning. As you can see right on Twitter post, I stated right off the bat, not loving anything today. We'll be cautious and wait for volume. I just felt that, there seemed to be lower than average volume in the pre-market, and also a bit of a sell-off on most of the stocks that I was looking at. In any case, for my watch list, I settled on CLNE and AMD on my primary. And then on my secondary list, on days like this, there's really not too much of a difference, in my primary and secondary. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on something that is moving nicely for the day. But on the secondary list was Roblox, Wish, FCell, Run, DKNG. Also, I added AAPL to my list, which I replied to this Twitter post. And so that's what I was looking at to start with. But, I went into the open knowing that really anything was possible today because, on days like today where and it's a Friday, so I generally don't expect a lot of movement on Fridays and a lot of volume. Although I mean that's not necessarily a rule of thumb. It just seems to be what tends to happen on Friday, and we're also, I guess, closing in on what is dubbed as summer trading. Anyways, so I was, I wanted to be cautious. I wanted to be patient at the open of the market and really wait for things to present themselves to me. As you can see here, I've pulled up PLTR. And so PLTR was, as you just saw, was not on my watch list to start off with. But it did. It was something that kind of seemed to be moving into. Sorry, it wasn't moving. Actually, it became increasingly interesting going into the open here, and I'll show you why. So as you can see, what happened here? Not quite sure what is going on here. Okay, I guess I got sorry about this. Okay, there it is. So here is, let's look at the pre-market. This here is the pre-market, and there really wasn't anything to look at, as you can see over here in the pre-market. But then, around just after 8:15, there was this really, really tight consolidation, which, really appeared to be algorithmic trading, and I was really, really curious to see what was going to happen with this stock at the open, because generally when you get this tight of a consolidation, the stock will have to decide which direction it's going to go. So It really caught my attention, so I ended up watching this, even though it wasn't on my preliminary watch list. I wanted to see what happened. So right here, you can see this 1 minute candle just before the open popped up. And, I saw that. And again, that still didn't tell me anything. I was not sure what this was going to do at the open. So as we zoom in here a little bit more, as we zoom in a little bit more, let's just move this over. You can see here that the first 1 minute candle here, let me just get rid of that, make that a little bit bigger. First 1 minute candle here had a really high top wick and, a decently, a decent bottom wick. So again, not a doji necessarily, but in my opinion, definitely some indecision. And then the second candle here was an upside down hammer, which wicked off of the opening price here. And so, I at this point I was still not really sure. It wasn't clear on the level two. It wasn't clear from the price action what PLTR was going to do. But as you can see here, with a little bit of patience and watching it, you can see that it really held at this S2 level. It so I was watching it potentially for a bounce off here, or if it lost this S2 level, I was going to see what it did at this S3 level and potentially play it for a short. So there was possibilities because, like I said, when I see this much consolidation at any time, then I know that it's likely going to make, once it decides what direction it's going to go, the stock is probably going to make an aggressive move in that direction. So it eventually decided to push up into this VPOC level, and I felt that if it was going to, and there was it had formed, even though it formed a level here, it was also kind of trading in the range right over here. So I told myself that if it broke above that, then I was going to take it long. And I did. I went long over here and immediately was able to catch a 2R gain. Now, so that was great. Winning trade for the first trade of the day, especially on a day where it was really questionable how many opportunities or how much volatility we were going to get. But this also ended up being the start of, I guess, a bit of an emotional roller coaster that I went on for the day, because anyone that's been watching this week's recaps knows that at the beginning of the week, or on Tuesday to be exact, I upped my risk per trade. So I instead of risking $25 per trade, I am now risking $50 per trade. So I increased my risk per trade, and but in doing so, I created a new hot button for that. I wanted to keep my original $25 risk hot button just in case. If I run into a bit of a slump, or if things aren't necessarily going my way, I tend to pull back and go to lower risk and to build some confidence again. So I kept the $25 risk hotkeys, but I added the $50 risk hotkeys. Unfortunately, this was a hotkey error, and I took a $25 risk on this trade. So unfortunately, even though this was a 2R win, at $50 risk, that would have been $100. Unfortunately, this was only a $50 trade, but I didn't really notice that till it filled my profit target, and I wasn't sure what had happened, and I was still monitoring the markets, and I thought maybe because there was a surge in in volatility at this time. I don't know. Maybe Das improperly calculated the position. I don't know. It's happened in the past, so I really wasn't sure. So let's go to the next trade. Sorry. So the next trade was a trade on run. And on run, um, I went. You can see that it pushed up here at the open, but it wicked here and seemed to find some resistance at this previous day close level. So I was watching it potentially for a bit of a pullback, and when it pushed below this 200 SMA on the 1 minute chart, I went short. Now, ironically, although I um, press the wrong hot button to go long, I was pressing the right hot button to go short. So this ended up being a $50 risk trade with a stop loss here just above sorry, stop loss at 52.30. And what I did was, when it went in my direction, and this is the second time that run has done this, or that this has happened to me on run. After it went in my direction, I moved the stop loss below this previous day close to this level here, where I eventually got stopped out. So that was kind of half my risk, and instead of it being half of a loss, $25, it was a half of a loss of 50. So that was a full $25 loss. So anyways, so at this point I was like, what is kind of going on? And but again, I didn't quite process everything, because things do happen relatively quick at the market open. So anyways, so that was a loss, no big deal. So it's difficult for me to say, how much R of a loss, because I had a 2R gain, which, was only 2R gain at $25 risk, but I had a half an R loss here, but at $50 risk. Hopefully that makes sense to you and you're following. But anyways, at this point, I still hadn't figured out what had happened with regards to the hotkeys. So I started watching CLNE here. CLNE seemed to be, it was kind of choppy here. Now in hindsight, I look at this and I can see that there was quite a bit of chop, even though it was trending in this direction. But it clearly hit a bit of some resistance at this level, this $12.35 level. And, you can see VPOC here. Anyways, sorry. So what I did with this was, because, let me backtrack, because it was trending up, after this pullback seemed to bounce off of this pre-market level, which I think is pre-market high. Yeah, it was pre-market high level, and the 50 SMA. I went long, went to push back above this VPOC level, and then I realized it started hitting its head on this and really wasn't pushing up. Unfortunately, I ended up taking a loss here. I thought this was, again, slight around the 50% loss of $50 risk, but it wasn't. Again, I used the wrong hotkey, and I realized at this point that I was pressing the wrong hotkey. So, like I said, there was a bit of an emotional day. Once I had that realization, I was like, oh my goodness. And, so now my winning trade was half of what it should be. My losing trade was twice what it really should be, or what, so I was all over the place. I was like, man, today could have been, at this point, a lot better. I'm not saying it's right to be emotional. It's just what I was feeling at the time, and I should have been a little bit more mindful of it. But and none of the, but I was happy with all of those trades. Like I said, there was a hotkey error. In any case, you can see that CLNE here seemed to find the bottom here, find some resistance again. I shouldn't say bottom, but some resistance. So I went long again. Went to push up this VPOC level, and oh, sorry, man, I'm all over the place, but I actually hadn't figured out what was the problem here. I think I pressed the wrong hotkey again, which is why I ended up doing an ad here to bring it up to a $50 risk. And then I What did the what happened here? I'm not gonna go through every single trade because I did. I took 21 trades today, so it's hard to remember everything. All I know is obviously this one didn't work out, so this ended up being a full 1 hour loss at $50 risk. And then after this, I did take a couple more trades here on CLNE. Let me just quickly show you. Um, I was a little biased on here, thinking it was going to go long. I obviously went long here, got stopped out for a full 1 hour loss. But I then I went long again, and this one did work out. I managed to get a full 2R on this, so that was a winning trade. Now, at this point, that was my sixth trade for the day, and you've heard me talk about this. This trade here put me in the green about 0.5 R, 0.5 of $50 risk. And because it was six trades for the day, and because it was a Friday, and because, um, uh, you know, there seemed to be a little bit lower than average volatility. I should have called it a day there, but like I said, I was kind of, I was a little bit emotional, and I just wasn't. I wasn't trading at 100%. I wasn't. I'm not going to say I was trading poorly, but definitely some older demons seem to creep in here. So I did keep trading for the day. I took some trades after that on Wish. So and this is where uh, all the trades at this point, you know, they were fine. I really don't have many problems with them, but this is where I started to, maybe take some very marginable, or I would even say poor trades. You can see that Wish here was consolidating. Oops. It was consolidating in and around this area here. Um, I was watching it for a break. As you can see, it pulled back. I did this pullback here, and I was actually watching for it to break below this level, but it didn't. And that should have been an indication to me that, okay, well, you know what, this is going to continue moving up, even though it was just a bit of a gradual move up. But I got a little bit stubborn. I thought, you know what, let's catch a big move. And again, you get in this mindset. I probably didn't tell this myself, but probably my mindset was, let's make up for, the profits we didn't make so far. So I went short here. I can't give you a reason why I did, because really, there's no reason I should go short there. It was right at the 20. It clearly was bouncing off the 20 EMA here. The level is here, not here. So I got stopped out. I got a little, again, continued to be stubborn. Went short here, thinking, okay, well, now it's going to go, but it didn't stop me out. So that's 2R loss just in those trades right there. So now I'm healthy into the red, about 1.5 R into the red. And then I saw this pop on higher volume, and when it came back, it's a bit of a, this is kind of a bit of a double top pattern. But I missed what I should have happened. What I would have done on this particular strategy here is I would, one strategy, trade book strategy of mine, is to take this when it crosses the 20 EMA with a stop loss above the candle prior. That would have probably got me, if that, so let me just remove these real quick. Had I taken that properly, that would have been a stop loss right here, an entry right here, and I probably would have been able to get, I don't know, maybe 2R here. I don't know. Maybe it might not have, who knows, but clearly I missed this. So now I'm chasing, and I really did feel on some trades today that I was behind. And that tends to happen when you're not trading, with a clear head. So I chased this. I went short, and as you can see, there's another loss. That one there, and it was I'm not sure. Let me just check the journal here. That wasn't a complete. Oh yeah, it was. That was a another 1R loss. So not good. In between there, I also had a trade on CLNE because I saw what I saw was I saw this. I saw that it was hitting this level here, and I felt that if it pushed down, that it could sell off. Now again, I was late. This actually probably this one almost definitely would have worked. You can see here it threw this upside down hammer on decent volume, so I would have been pretty happy with that. It's pushing below this VPOC level. Here is the 20 SMA. I would have had a stop loss above here, and once this candle formed and the price pushed below this candle, I should have got short here. That would have been let's just so that would have been stop loss there, entry here. Probably would have hit 2R down over here, but that's not what happened because, like I said, I was chasing. I probably saw this a little bit late. You can see here, it did take so this is the initial push down. This is the second leg down, and that's where I got in, short. This here is the third leg down, but I would have had to take my profit here for a 2R win, and that just doesn't work for my strategy. So unfortunately, I got stopped out. Not a full 1R. This is, I think, a 0.5R loss because I moved my stop loss to just above this 100 SMA, but it was another red trade nonetheless. So definitely, so now I've already overtraded. I've traded more than the 6 trades I would like to stay within. I've now had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just looking at my journal as I'm talking to you. 5 red trades in a row, and now I'm definitely emotional. I'm deep in the kind of emotion. I'm trying to keep myself. Now, fortunately, I will say that several months ago, or even just a few months ago, this probably would have been a huge spiral down. I can confidently say that I am a better trader now. So although I was emotional, for sure, I was still kind of keeping my head on my shoulders in the sense that although I've taken at this point some questionable, marginal, and even probably ill-advised trades, I was starting to get patient again because with all those red trades, I'm pretty sure I was probably at my max loss, and that is the rule today that I was most disappointed that I broke because I do know that probably at this point in my trading day, I know I was at max loss and I took trades beyond my max loss. At this point in my development, I don't think I'm ready for that. It's a long-term goal for me to be able to just trade, not necessarily have a limit on the number of trades for the day as long as I'm taking good trades, but I should never, ever break my max loss, which is 3R for the day. So anyways, so I definitely over max loss here, unfortunately, but I took a trade on run. You can see it consolidated here. Sorry, those arrows are a little bit light. But here you can see this is the candle where it broke the 20 EMA, and then I took a trade at the break of the once it pushed below that candle. This I'm perfectly fine with. This is a trade book play. I'm happy with this entry. You can see that it started to consolidate over here. So because I was a little uncertain, I was a little shaken already, I took a partial here. My full 2R was right here, so it was almost there, but I took a 50% partial. I thought if it could push below this 200 SMA, then I could still get a full 2R off this trade. Unfortunately, it ended up bouncing, and it did stop me out at break even. But at least I got, I think this was a point. what did I, with this 50% partial, I got nearly 1 hour on this. Anyways, so that was a green trade. But then I took another. So when it reversed, I thought, oh, maybe it's going long. So I went long. This is another indication that I'm not really, I'm not trading smart. When I start flip flopping my positions for no clear reason, I'm not against. I don't believe you should be entirely biased. You should be able to, follow the price action. But in this case, I can't really justify this long, and I paid the price for it. Unfortunately, I went long. I got stopped out, and with some slippage, this was actually more than the 1 hour loss. Okay, so let's keep going. Like I said, 21 trades today. I know I told you I wouldn't go through all of them, but hopefully there's some value in kind of hearing, what was going on with me here. But anyways, I continued my trading now with Klein. Now this again, this is where I'd say, I'm not entirely upset with all my trades. This one is a marginal trade. I wish I had been watching this correctly. You can see huge volume here. You can see a little bit of a doji, and then this indecision. I would have loved to have cashed this move down. So this one again, I think. Actually, now as I look at this, I was still chasing this one, consolidated in this area. At least I was patient enough to wait for the break of this consolidation. I didn't get myself chopped in this area, but unfortunately, I got stopped out. So that was a red trade, and then I went back to run. Oh, I know, whiplash. What can I say? But so run here. Let's move this over. This one. Okay, so you can see it was it kind of double topped here, and I was now looking at this 50 SMA standard moving average. I went short here with a stop loss at the top of this candle here. Fortunately, this worked out. It sold off. I got my full 2R return here. So that was a green trade. Things started to look a little bit better at this point. I started to kind of put my head on straight a little bit, but I did take quite a few more trades. I went back to Wish, and Wish. So this happens sometimes when I'm not, on my game. I get a little fixated on stock, and Wish here was the one today. You'll see that once I show my what my P&L was. So unfortunately here I went short, got stopped out. I went short again here, got stopped out. And you can see just a kind of Christmas tree Wish here. I kept being fixated and biased on this short. And look, I just kept getting stopped out. Like that's quite a few losses there. It ended up that eventually did sell off. But really, I shouldn't need to prove myself right. But in any case, let me show you at least the winning trades, and I show you all the losers. I went short here. I got I got a little spooked here because it was consolidating, so I took a partial here. I got here. I got out at what I thought was all out. Unfortunately, it actually didn't fill me, and I was actually looking for another opportunity, and then I saw that I had 100 shares outstanding. So because it didn't completely exit, it didn't fill me on all my shares. I was fortunate. I held on. I said, okay, well, you know what? I'm still in the green on this trade. Let's see if it goes for another leg down. And it did. I got out here, but man, I missed this big move. And check out just how much of a move I missed. This was pretty sure my last trade on Wish. Yeah. So you can see that my all out on my finally catching a winning trade. my all out here, and I missed all of this. It's just the way it is. And these types of things, when you're having an emotional day, can really get to you. In any case, that was Wish. My other winning trade was on CLNE. I managed to catch, just back up here a little bit, walk you through this trade, and that will probably end it for the recap, because I think this is pretty much all the trades. So Klein seemed to be topping out here, and hitting a resistance at this 100 SMA. Um, in any case, I went short over here. I would love to say that there was a very, very clear trade here, but like I said, at this point, I was probably taking marginal trades. This was probably just as much luck as it was anything else. But this did push down. I did catch. This was actually a little bit better. This ended up. I got wick. This wick. There was slippage in my that went my way here, and I actually got 2.5 R on this trade, which was nice. A bit of a bonus for the day, and that was my trade on CLNE. So, like I said, it was a bit of a long recap here, but I wanted to kind of share the roller coaster that was my day and try and articulate what I was thinking and feeling at the time. It started. It started with those hotkey errors and the wrong risk and so on and so forth. As you can see, I finished the day just in the red, 1.1 R. Some poor things throughout the day, some good things for sure, but the one is unforgivable is that, like I said, I continue to trade after hitting max loss, and that is a recipe for huge disaster. If you make that a habit. You can see here, this is what I was talking about on Wish. I got a little fixated, and that's where the lion's share of my losses came from. Everything else was actually not that bad, but getting fixated on stock is not a good thing, as you can see. And let's close it off on, checking my journal here. So here we are. This is the journal. As you can see, this is the first winning trade. Should be $100, 2R, but it wasn't. So these first three trades were at, my old risk level. And then after that, you can see here, this is that final winning trade. And this would have been where I should have stopped today. I was in the green here, 0.5 R. Should have stopped today, 6 trades, but I didn't. And I continued to trade. And you can see big string of red trades here. This is what put me well past my max loss. Finally got a green trade here, which wasn't even that big. Here's a red trade, and then sorry, finally got that big. Oh, sorry, caught this win here, 2R win. I think I started to right the ship here, as I was talking about. Got that big win on CLNE here, 2.5 R, couple more red, and then finished the day off on this red trade. Managed to kind of claw my way back up. You have days like this where it was damage limitation, but overall, because of that rule break on the max loss, really disappointed in myself for the day. But the week, when I look back, was a great week. I finished the week up, I think 9R for the week. Very happy with that. So 9R in the green. Days like today, I talked about my goal. Look at this, 29% win rate. That's not going to help my goal of getting getting this number to above 40%. That's really what I'm looking for. But we're on the right track. This is almost 2.5 R to my to 1 R. A ratio of 2.5 to 1. Win-loss ratio, which is great. As long as that stays over 2 to 1, then if this is over 40, I'm always I'm going to be a consistently profitable trader. So that's it. That's all. Sorry for being a little bit long-winded, but a lot going on today. A lot of self-inflicted challenges today, but fortunately, we ended up the day not too bad off. Minus 1.5, 1.1 R after all of that. I'll take that. So thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoy the content. If you do, hit the thumbs up. Really appreciate that. And this is AJ on Day Trader Boomer Bust. We will catch you on the next recap. Cheers. Have a great weekend.